news tonight, Governor Ludo calls for collective effort to transform Anambra State. Anambra State launches joint security outfit Operation Udoga Zero Kidnapping. President Tinubu declares national emergency and food security. And on the forums in UK, hosts Sudan talks as a famine takes hold. Security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business. And for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Reporters, close elements to the security operators for better security of lives and property. Remember the emergency numbers 5111 and 080 22 Good evening and welcome to the news. My name is Chetem Oranwa. The governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has called on India Anambra to join hands with the state government to transform the state. Governor Soludo made the call when India Anambra in Abuja gathered in their numbers to receive him during a town hall meeting where he gave an account of his 3 years stewardship. Correspondent Ewi Ajida was there and now reports.
It was not just about listening to the governor's speech, but about hearing how their lives have been touched in real terms. The achievements range from better roads in their communities, the return of peace in previously troubled areas, from job creation to digital transformation, among others. As the governor begins to recount his journey over the past 36 months, the atmosphere was charged with both pride and curiosity. According to the governor, since 2006, he had envisioned recreating Anambra to become a destination point rather than a departure lounge. He cautioned that all hands must be on deck to develop the state, as Anambra State in the next 50 years may have up to 50 or 48 million people.
This is where we have been prioritizing this governance, trying to connect the entire state, connecting all the ignored and neglected and so on and so forth communities. It is about need. We're not playing politics with this development. Still in this same framework of leaving no one behind, because moto party apuga bo onyaga na manne. Be our brothers and sisters keeper. Leave no one behind. Amalonde and when need, let's get to them. And that's why 5 brand new general hospitals completed by this government within the last 3 years. All of them are in the North Senatorial Zone. Not one in my zone.
In Abuja, Princess Ewi Ajide reporting.
The chairman of Anambra State Disability Rights Commission, Barrister Chuks Ezawuzie, has called for full implementation of the provisions of the state's disability rights law across sectors for persons with disability in the state to be proud partners in development agenda and also contributors towards economic and social stability. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo reports that Barrister Ezawuzie made the call in his office in Oka, and now his report.
Ezawuzie asked private organizations and individuals to partner with the state government to lift persons with disabilities out of poverty, from the state of vulnerability to a state of significance, even as he encouraged the masses to start seeing persons with disabilities as people who have something to offer and not the other way around. He called for an improved support system for persons with disabilities and their inclusion in policy making and implementation, in line with the United States mantra, which says nothing about us without us. Barrister Ezewuzie made a case for the government to consider providing lift buses for disabled persons in wheelchairs to help them enter buses at ease without needing someone to lift them up the buses.
Mr. Governor's manifesto clearly states that persons with disabilities are at the heart of his social agenda. So when we talk about inclusivity, we mean that persons with disabilities need to be included in every program, every policy. And as you remember, United Nations mantra, nothing about us without us. And it means that persons with disabilities will need to be included both in policy making, in implementation, in every program, that they need to be part of the system.
In Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
A joint security effort finally put a nail on all forms of kidnapping and other violent crimes has been launched in Anambra State today, codenamed has launched Operation Udogachi Zero Kidnapping. The joint effort, which is a collaboration among all security agencies in the state, such as the military, National Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, and Agona Chamber Security Outfit, among others, will be led by the Nigeria Police Force, Anambra State Command. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike tells us more.
The launch, which took place at the Anambra flyover, had all the security chiefs in the state in attendance as they vowed to sustain the success already recorded in nipping crimes in the board. Addressing the journalists on behalf of the security agencies, Commissioner of Police Dr. Ikioye Orutugu said the decision to activate Operation Udogachi Zero Kidnapping was made to finally eradicate all forms of violent crimes and insecurity from the state.
We have come to a position where we have decided to nip in the bud serious crimes like armed robbery, kidnapping, and other related situations, especially within this Easter period.
For the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Chukwuma Soludo on anti-cultism, Mr. Kinsley Ezika, all groups, organizations, and youths must unite and fight against insecurity in the state. Representatives of the Ultimate Business Women and Farmers Association of Nigeria, Mrs. Nkiru Nwabo, and Anambra State Restaurants Owners and Bars Association, Mr. Chiko Onwuzulike, threw their weights behind the operation and appreciated their efforts to improve the security in the state.
The Anambra State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Afabo Bidike, has called on HIV/AIDS and tuberculosis patients in Anambra State to register with the Anambra State Health Insurance Scheme and access-free treatment to minimize the mortality rate in the state. Dr. Obidike made the call in Oka. Correspondent Gabriel Alokwe filed on this report.
Obidike commended the Managing Director, Asha, for attracting global fund support to the state and stated that HIV and tuberculosis will now be covered under Anambra State Insurance Scheme free of charge.
We came to strategize on how we ensure that everybody living in Anambra State being covered under health insurance. So that's what we have, Anambra State Health Insurance, and it's a good thing. HIV and tuberculosis. You can come to Anambra State Health Insurance Agency and get your free insurance registration.
When a person who is living with HIV is diagnosed, there are other investigations that are done to monitor their treatment, and they have to pay out of pocket for these things. And that is why this Global Fund grant has come to be a stopgap to actually take care of all of those for them. Now, with Anambra State Health Insurance Agency, ASHI, paying for these services for them when they go to seek care, their treatment will be properly monitored with very good health outcomes.
Participants at the program, Mrs. Ifi Onachukwu and the state-resistant tuberculosis focal person, Mwamaka Chijoke Chukwu, called for supervisors that would help coordinate and monitor the program to ensure its success. In Oka, Gabe Alokwe, ABS News.
President Bola Tinubu on Monday declared a national emergency on food security, urging expanded irrigation infrastructure and participatory water resource management nationwide. Tinubu made the declaration while opening the 6th African Regional Conference on Irrigation and Drainage in Abuja. He was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume. He urged African nations to adopt innovative strategies in addressing the continent's irrigation and water management challenges. He described the conference theme, Tackling Irrigation Development and Water Management Crisis in Africa, as a clarion call to action for sustainable agriculture and economic resilience. Tinubu stated that the country had more than 3.1 million hectares of irrigable land located around key river basins such as Niger and Benue. In his remarks, the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsev, said the government had completed several landmark initiatives under the Transforming Irrigation Management in Nigeria project. Tens of thousands of people have been forced to flee a camp in Darfur in the wake of the most recent attacks. The UK's Foreign Secretary, David Talami, said that a high-level international conference is underway in London to find a pathway to peace in Sudan. The UK is promising an extra £120 million, that is $159 million, worth of food and medical assistance. Charities say 30 million people in Sudan are in desperate need and people are starving as a result of the war. More than 12 million have been forced from their homes in Sudan and tens of thousands killed amid widespread reports of sexual violence across the country and a genocide in Darfur. Over now to sports. The Championship Club announced that Real Madrid and Croatia midfielder Luka Modric has joined the Swansea City, an investor and co-owner. The 39-year-old Croatia captain has spent the past 13 seasons with Real Madrid and helped them win 6 Champions League titles after a spell at the Tottenham Hotspur earlier in his career. Swansea failed to disclose how much Modric, who won the Ballon d'Or in 2018, had invested, but he expressed excitement at the chance to use his knowledge to help the Welsh club, who play in the second tier of the English League. Modric said on the club's website that this is an exciting opportunity. Swansea has a strong identity, an incredible fan base, and the ambition to compete at the highest level. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow us on Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television or follow us on X at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to the website at www.absradiotv.com. A quick recap of our major stories. Governor Saludo has called for collective effort to transform Anambra State. Anambra State has launched joint security outfit Operation Udogachi Zero Kidnapping. President Tinubu has declared national emergency on food security. We told you on the foreign scene that UK has hosted Sudan talks as famine takes hold. Remember that security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, security is everyone's business. And for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to the security operators for better security of lives and property. Remember the emergency numbers 5111 and 080 022 00008. And that's it on the news tonight. Thank you for joining us. My name is Chidima Oranwa. Good night.